Hey there, everyone. I'm Darieth Chisolm. Welcome to Hustle and Heart TV, and Happy New Year 2015. I hope you've got some rocking plans ahead for you and your family and your business. Up next on this episode, they call this woman the $6.5 million woman. The kind of expert advice that she doles out could certainly be worth as much for you and your business. Becky Auer is a leading authority and a millionaire and has built very profitable businesses and helps other people do it in what she calls her Eat What She Kills experience. She loves teaching other business owners and entrepreneurs her time-tested strategies and ways to become successful through marketing and branding strategies. Sushi lovers in Pittsburgh know her and her brand. She's the name behind Nakama Japanese Steakhouse and Sushi Bar. She sold that business for millions, walked away profitable with a 63,000 person list, and now she's teaching others how to build a list as well as a $1 million business. In her e-learning system that was specifically created to provide business tools for entrepreneurs and small business owners. She's going to dive deep on many of these subjects and how you can get your 2015 rocking and rolling. So sit back, relax, grab a pen and paper. If you need to, come back to this special episode and get more with Becky Auer on Hustle and Heart TV. You're watching Hustle and Heart TV, a video podcast show that spotlights expert advice from top money earners, successful entrepreneurs, superstar network marketers, and leading authorities in business and marketing. I'm Darieth Chisolm. I'm inviting you into my home, and I'm bridging my own personal success as an entrepreneur, MLMer, news anchor, and now video podcast show host to help you leverage more tools and resources, make more money, and generate more ways to take action, become a rock star, and love your journey. We are about to rock in this next half hour with Miss Becky Auer. I'm so excited to be here with you, and what's even better is we are in your home studio.
It is amazing. Yeah, it's my office, and we make it a studio and use a lot of it for recording a lot of my members who come to my marketing meetings. So yeah, it's great to have you here.
This is something else. When your business can evolve around you, and literally her home office is in behind this camera, but she uses this as a production studio. That's called an in-home business. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah.
So speaking of that, let's talk about, you do so many wonderful things, and you teach so many people wonderful things, but tell us your story. How did you get involved in business, and now particularly in helping people understand how to market and strategize the growth of their business?
Sure. I've always been an entrepreneur. Like since the time I was 13, I started one of those stork businesses where you put the storks up in the yard of the people who are having a baby. My dad did it with me and kind of evolved through there. Learning as I went, I didn't really know that marketing was what I loved until I got into college and ended up figuring all of that out. So I always could sell, as my mom says, ice to an igloo. And in college, I sold spring break trips to get a free spring break trip. So evolved from there, got married, moved to Long Island for 2 years and came back here. And he and I wanted to do something together. And we opened up a fire and water restoration business. And I went out 8 months pregnant and did all the marketing and got us all the jobs. And from there, ended up meeting a fellow that ran a Japanese steakhouse and doing work for him. And he said, would you come in and be my partner? I know you're the marketing genius behind what you do, and I want it in this. And I said, I'll do that as long as I don't have to do a whole lot else. I like to do the marketing. And so that's how Nakama Japanese Steakhouse came to be. I went into partnership with him, and the rest is history. I had it for 7 years and ended up selling it in 2010. Learned a lot through the 7 years and all the previous years in business of how to get people to know your name and how to position yourself as the expert, because that really, there's so many people out there that have so much competition. You really want them to know your business and what makes you unique and different. And so I took all of what I knew and started to run the No BS marketing meeting. And so now I teach business owners, small business owners, how to do that and to take things that I've learned along the way and tweak it to make it be able to use in their business, whether they're a chiropractor or a dentist or whatever that is.
And we're going to talk more in detail about some specific strategies that you can take right away to get yourself into profit, but more importantly, learn additional marketing ways to bring more business to you. But let's go back and talk about Nakama, because when you walked away from that in 2010, you did so with a pretty, having had a very successful run.
Sure.
6.5 million, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now how does one do that?
Yeah, we got, there was a lot that went into that. We, of course, had no idea it would be that successful. One of the things, though, that is a great tip for small business owners is it's all about your list. And so if you're just going into business or thinking about going into business, you need to have a list, because everything spawned from that. After the 7 years, I had over 63,000 unique guests that I could go out and ask to do whatever I wanted them to do. And through that, we got 64 People's Choice Awards while I was at the helm, and just a great clientele of people that, you have to thank them for coming in. There's so many different options out there that you just really need to be able to know who your customers are. I'm sure you go to a lot of restaurants, and most people probably don't even collect your information, so in any business, it's the first thing you need to do. And most people say, well, I have a list, it's all down in my file cabinet, and 10 invoices, 100 invoices. That's not really a working list, that you need to have a list to be able to segment and go forward from there.
So hear that, anyone in business, an entrepreneur, whatever you're doing, list building is so important, whether you do it directly from your website and have people leave you an email for maybe a free gift, right, or in this case, if you're running a restaurant or some place where people are walking through the door, having them fill out their information with their email address is so very important.
Right, and one of the things, you have to reward them, because, I get surveys all the time where people want you to fill something out, and really everybody's so busy. So if they would fill out their information for our loyalty card, we would give them a free appetizer right away. Or if they'd go to our website and we wanted them to come in and try us, free appetizer. But you have to track too. You can't, market yourself out of business. So what I teach with my groups now is emotional direct response marketing, and what that means is it has to be measurable. So you have to know if you put $1 in, you get at least $1 out, and hopefully $2, right? So it's measurable, and you have to be able to track all of that. So at any given time in the restaurant, I ran 6 to 14 promotions month after month from month one. And it did get to be a lot, because we did some couponing, and we did some I did a hard copy newsletter for 72 months in a row and sent it out to our top 5,000 people that came in all the time and referred business to us. So there's a lot of things that you can do. A lot of it is just being consistent, though, and most people aren't.
Consistency, so very important. Making sure that you're feeling the pulse of the client or the customer. This idea or this system of emotional branding, emotional
direct response
marketing. Give us the details on that.
Yeah, so it's all about connecting with your client, whatever that looks like to you. We didn't know when we opened the restaurant that it was going to be, that our main clientele was going to be the 25 to 45-year-olds that, wanted to come in and have a place to hang out and be sexy and hip and trendy. We marketed towards a bit older clientele, but then as soon as we saw that change happen, we were like, oh, okay, we got it. And so we switched up a lot of what we were going to do.
Feeling the pulse.
Yep, feeling the pulse of them. And we heard them. Like every email that came in, I read, I responded to. And so it's hard because you're wearing the hat of the accountant and the manager and, the person who takes the garbage out and cleans the office a lot in the beginning, but you really have to be in touch with your client and your customer and what they're telling you they want. So we did a lot of surveys of, look, here's what's coming up. Is there anything else you want to tell us? Or, we read everything and responded to it, and it really worked out well. We got the blessing of that crowd too, and it and it skyrocketed from there.
Yeah, so basically you will not be able to do that unless you've collected the emails.
That's exactly right.
So you got to get the emails so you can feel the pulse and then make any corrective moves that you need based on what people are telling you. And you can't be successful in business clearly if you don't know the direction you should be moving in. And if you're not listening to what the people that you're serving are telling you, then you could be in the opposite direction.
That's exactly right. And so every year for our No BS marketing meeting, we survey our people because our people have been coming year after year since 2006. So we want to keep it fresh. We want to keep it on the cutting edge. But we want them to tell us what they want to know most about. So for example, 2015, it's the main thing they want to know about is copywriting, how to write good copy. So you're talking to like just one person in your copy as you write, whether that's a magazine ad, whether that's a long copy sales letter, whether that's come to my website and you're talking to one specific person, you need to know who that person is. So they want to know more about copywriting. We're giving them copywriting next year.
That's great. Just a little tidbit and point here. I don't know how long I've been on your email list, but I shared with you that years ago when I was in television and I worked from 3 to midnight, I'd get emails about attending one of your meetings, and they were in the afternoon between 3 and 5, and I always said, I'd love to go to one of these things, and I never had the opportunity. But I've been on your list ever since.
Oh, that's great.
And I've read them from time to time. So it just goes to show why it's so important to stay engaged and keep pumping out good information. Clearly.
Right, yeah. And to be consistent. Just like you said, if we had let you go because you never responded or whatever, then there's no chance of ever getting you back. I said they either unsubscribe or they die. Is what happens. So.
Yeah. Or they come here and they end up interviewing you. So that's why that's so important to keep people on your list. We're going to take a break, but there's so much more ahead, and we're going to dig into some of the tools and things that you use with small business owners and entrepreneurs that you end up coaching and you have in your mastermind. So don't go anywhere because you are going to want to put these things in effect for your business. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a way to advertise your business, product, or service? Why not do it here on Hustle and Heart TV? We'd be happy to send you our media kit for show sponsorship and advertising. Reach out to us at info@dariethchisholm.com or give us a call at 412-692-1600 and we'll send you a media kit with all the information.
Bad things happen to good people. Accidents, serious injuries, or even death. When they do, families call Frank Walker Law, where we fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
The Pink House, a 100-year-old attraction filled with the sweet, yummy smell of award-winning Wagner's chocolate. This unique boutique is unlike any candy shop you've ever experienced. The indulgent aroma delights you as you wander from room to room, and you'll discover Wagner's is more than just chocolate. Shop for your own candy-making supplies. Visit the gift shop, book your next party, and be a kid again in the fun ice cream parlor, where they serve hot and cold drinks and Hershey's ice cream. The signature chocolates are handmade with care and attention to detail. You'll be amazed at the favorite offerings that keep generations returning to this family-owned gem. Chocolate-covered pretzels and Twinkies, caramel apples, homemade biscotti, and so much more. This family-friendly experience is worth the stop in Finleyville to experience a 37-year-old tradition. Or order online at thepinkhouse.biz and give a call to 724-348-2238. All right, now we promised you some goodies, and when I say goodies, I mean goodies that you can use in your business to really help to reach your customer, figure out creative ways to brand and market, but more importantly, bring them in. So what do you have?
Yeah, so one of the things that we talk about all the time at our No BS marketing meeting is a way to be unique, right? So if you're a landscaper, let's just say, and there's 100 other landscapers out there, how do you make yourself stand out? So one of those ways is we talk a lot about direct mail. A lot of people think, well, that's kind of dead out there. Most people don't even, paying attention, but we really want them to pay attention. So some of the ways that we do that are to create direct mail pieces for them. So these are just a few examples. This is one. Now, if you got this in your mail and all your other things that came in the mail, would you be inclined to open something like that?
Only because that's sitting there.
Right. So it has a little bit of lumpiness, and they can see through it a little bit. And we would put the label right here, right? So they don't really know who it's coming from. And so we just want to get it opened. We call it the A pile. We want it to go up on the A pile. So this is one of the letters I send out to get people to attend our meetings. And so it's a great example for my members to show them an example of what we're going to talk about, and it also gets them to attend the meeting. So that's one example. This is just, again, a fun colored envelope, right, to get your attention, A pile, and it's a little bit lumpy if you want to feel it there.
Yeah.
And so when they
So
open
I start
this,
to say, what's inside?
yeah, what's inside, because you never throw anything away when it's lumpy. And so what we did for this was come to our chapter meeting. It's going to knock your socks off, and we put a sock in there. So again, it just gets people talking about you. You really want them to say, oh, I got the neatest thing in the mail, and they're going to teach us at the meeting, and then they bring friends, and that's what we want.
I love it.
Yeah, thanks. So this is a fun one. And the last one that I just pulled was, outside on the envelope, is there a magic pill? And then on the inside, we have a pill case, right? Prescription bottle, and it says your magic pills enclosed. And for this one, it's the what, where, and when, which is Prescription for Success at, of course, our No BS marketing meeting. So you can use this for anything. I created a whole campaign for a dentist recently, and you can get personalized M&Ms. And so we did this with a whole personalized bottle for him that says, oh, when you run out of your pills that you need to de-stress, contact our office. And we got his picture, and then relax and calm down, all on the M&Ms. And so when they call back to his office, they run out and give him more. And oh, by the way, do you have any referrals? It's just a fun way to keep your name out there.
I love it. And I would say that given the fact that so many people are just engorged, if you will, with the internet and doing social media campaigns, this is taking things back. And now you're going back to mailers, which
Yes.
typically people said doesn't work anymore.
Right.
But you're probably more prone to get people's attention more often now because they're tired of being bombarded on the internet and through social media.
Yes.
Certainly something come in the mail and it's got some weight, you're trying to figure out what's inside, you're interested in knowing about it, at least it's probably going to be opened.
Right.
Here's the question. Is this affordable for most small business owners and entrepreneurs just getting started? Because you've got to probably buy the list, the postage, the cost of the postage, and then whatever the cost of the piece is.
Yes, that's right. So what I say is everybody out there that's getting started in business needs, if you're small, a top 5 list, meaning if you could get those 5 businesses to do business with you and wave your magic wand and everything would be grand, then start with 5. If you do have a little bit more money, take a top 20 list and be consistent. Every month you send something like this in the mail to them. I have a whole referral program on my resource page on my No BS marketing site of 2 letters that I actually create for people that is for a marketing calendar. And so we have weird holidays, right? Most people don't know about them, but one is National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day. So I created a whole letter about National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day and fun facts about raisins and chocolate and the whole thing, and you just print them out and sign your name at the bottom. You go to Sam's Club, you buy a jug of chocolate covered raisins, and once a month you go in to whoever you want to refer you, or a business where, again, if you waved your magic wand and got their business, it would just be great for you. You take that in. Do you think anyone's going to turn you away? You're coming with food, you're coming with a little bit of a fun letter, and after you do that month after month after month, consistent, then you will get a referral, I guarantee it. Or if you just want to get in front of that CEO, right? So you just start small, something like this, maybe once every 2 weeks. All of a sudden, after 4, 6, 8 different times, he will eventually see you, I guarantee it.
So ways to keep your cost in line is to be very targeted.
Very.
So you're not just spending a bunch of money, throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall.
Right.
Having a targeted list, being really intentional about what you choose, and then maybe not buying in bulk, but I don't know how many of these you can get at a
Yeah,
certain time.
no, there's
but
all
just-
different resources. I got this at Uline, ULINE.com. And if you're watching Money and want something like this created, or just need editing, or my letters that I get laid out, I use a gal on Fiverr. Did you ever hear of Fiverr?
I use Fiverr all the
I
time.
love
it.
Fiverr.
Yeah.
So Fiverr is Fiverr.com. For $5, you can really get anything you want done.
Yeah, and the Fiverr is an awesome resource. Roy, thank you very much, who does a lot of our graphic work. I go back to time and time again. And certainly Uline is great. There's a lot of resources out there that people can utilize to really keep cost in line, but still be very creative.
Right.
Because it sounds to me like that is the bottom line. You've got to figure out how to set yourself apart and aside from your competition, and be very direct in your approach to those that you're marketing with. How do we find out who they are? Let's talk about narrowing to your niche or your avatar, and making sure no matter what the business is that you're constantly in reach of those types of people.
Sure. So one of the easiest ways to do that, if you already have an ongoing list, is to, you can go and data mine, I call it. You can take that list, maybe it's 200 people that are on your list. You can take that list, and there are companies out there that will tell you whatever it is you want to know about those people. So if you figure out then that they're the 40-year-olds that have 2 cars, that both people work in the household, then that becomes the exact person that you want to get more of, and then you can go and buy that list. So again, you have to be, depending on your financial situation, you don't have to turn over a lot or have them analyze a lot, but you do want to know those things. And if you don't have a list yet, I used to plant my kids at the door in the beginning to just try and give an eye range of, like, who do you think's coming in here? Is it the hip, young, trendy kids? Is it the business people that just want a place to close their deals? That type of thing. So
she planted her, in case you missed the first part of this, planted the kids at the door of the restaurant.
That's right.
When people start to think, gee, I could do something with my kids, right? So,
and I got to pay my kids because I did that. So
Yeah.
it's just a nice, easy way to, give them money in the beginning to help you. I also featured them in my newsletter, so whether they knew it or not, they were in my newsletter.
make it a family business.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. It certainly makes sense to do that. Marketing budget. Small business owner, entrepreneur just getting started, maybe someone who's in the growth stage. What ideally, what percentage, what amount, dollar amount should people commit to doing each month for marketing?
Yeah, I get that question all the time, and I don't have a great answer on percentage-wise. I pretty much say it doesn't really matter. What you're looking for is your return on investment. So as you can imagine, I had advertisers come in all the time to put ads in magazines and, give them donations. And I was like, look, I'll do whatever you want me to do as long as there's a return on investment. Meaning, if I invest $500, I want you to guarantee I'm going to get at least $500 back that's trackable back to your ad, right? So it had to have a code or a word or something that they said, and then our servers had to be trained to make note of that for me. And that got to be a lot because we had 108 employees. And so at that point, I was just like, forget it, we'll just do a coupon or something that they can bring back in that they can attach to the receipt.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, good. You've got so much information that we could probably talk for hours about this, and we only have about another 10 minutes, so we're really going to narrow into some really important things that people should be doing in business, like right away, to get them into profit, as well as looking at some new things that you're looking at doing, and masterminds and why they are so important.
Yes.
So we'll dive into all of that when we come back. So what steps have you taken lately to take your business to a whole nother level? Or are you stuck or stalled? I'd love to hear from you. So send me an email at info@dariethchisholm.com, or you can like me on Facebook at Darieth Chisholm or on Twitter at Darieth Chisholm, and share your journey. Ask me a question, give me a topic or two, or a potential show guest. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Hey, it's Tam Michelle with Tie the Knot Tuesday here at the Pittsburgh Marriott City Center, where we take care of all of your event and meeting needs brilliantly. And this week on Tie the Knot Tuesday, we're going to talk about paper, paper, paper. When you're thinking about your invitations, think about pulling a scheme together. Whether it's the font style the whole way, whether it's the color of the paper, whether it's the theme of the wedding, always think about invitations all the way to your place cards, to your signature drink, to the favors that you're going to give away. Everything should always have one theme, one style, and it should be your style. For your wedding and event needs, like us on Facebook at the Pittsburgh Marriott City Center and call us at 412-918-1373 and ask for me, Tam Michelle. Keep smiling.
This is not a hotel. It's an idea that travel should be brilliant. Because it's not only about where you're staying, it's about where you're going. The promise of spaces far beyond your imagination. We're here to advance the art of hosting, so you can make the most of your journey. Pittsburgh Marriott City Center. Travel brilliantly.
One place for all your insurance needs? Of course. See State Farm Agent Steve Chris. Call or stop by today.
Hi, I'm Kia Tomlin, the woman behind Uptown Sweats by Kia Tomlin, and you're watching Hustle and Heart TV.
So Becky, there are a ton of things that people can do in business, but clearly we can be overwhelmed by them and we start to think, what should I do first? Sometimes it can be paralyzing.
Yeah.
3 really important things that every entrepreneur should be doing if they're not already doing it, and 3 things, and that would be for a new person, and maybe 3 things that someone who's in that growth period that's really said, I've done all that kind of stuff, I need something new to do. So now we're talking 6 things.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting for small business owners, like starting out, there are so many things you have to do, all the way from getting, licensed if you need to do that, to IRS compliance stuff, to getting a good bookkeeper, etc. So, I understand there's a lot of ways that you need to wear the hats and go from there. But when you start a small business, I wish I had a resource where you could go and say, give me the ABCs of what I need to do. So a lot of that I put into my book, which is 7 Rules for Fast Growth and More Profits in Your Business. It's a step-by-step action plan. You can make notes in it. I made it so, like, if you really want to have it with you when you go, there are questions that really make you think about where you want to go with your small business. Another resource that they can use for what to do first, second, and third is I kind of did a brain dump and put together an e-learning program where it's at marketingbyprofitcatapult.com, and you can go there and start from the very beginning, which is you take a 40-question test. It algorithms away and tells you where to start in the process. So it's everything for small business development, time management, goal setting. But then if you're more advanced and already in your business a couple years and you want some really strong copywriting, you want some done for you stuff, because I'm all about, you don't have to recreate, it just has to be easy and it has to work. And so in there I put 116 different industries. So if you're a chiropractor, there's chiropractor stuff. If you're a doctor, there's doctor stuff, right? Cosmetic surgeon stuff, there's landscaper stuff. Everything in there done for you. Daycare, great daycare section in there, because I've worked with personal clients and then put a lot of their stuff up there. It's all great direct response, right? So it goes to their pain, they feel their pain, and then they contact you. But there's everything from start to finish, A to Z in that, and it's online, and I have a weekly video that goes out for free if you want to go and take a look at some of that.
Great, good, and we'll put, of course, the links in our resource section on the website on hustleandhearttv.com. You can just search Becky's name, and you'll be able to click all of those links and get that information. So we'll make sure that you have that as well. But for people that are in the Pittsburgh area, what's been really unique is you're going to spend a lot of time online, and you can develop partnerships and relationships with people online, but it's really nice to just do some face-to-face, like, especially these
It's a
days,
lost art.
It's a lost art. We're always in front of the computers or phones or something, and you have these no BS marketing meetings
Right.
where people get together and like talk face to face and brainstorm and strategize.
Yeah, it's great. We have consistently 40 to 50 small business owners that come every month. They come, they hear about different ways to get in front of their ideal client, ways to make them stand out. And out of that has just been so great to see them all form, joint ventures with each other, or use each other for testimonials, or, just help each other. Because, as you know, entrepreneurism is a lonely business. Sometimes your spouse doesn't support you. Sometimes the people that are your friends are like, "Are you crazy?"
They don't get it, yeah.
Right, I don't get it. I don't understand. Why don't you just go 9 to 5? And so entrepreneurs, they are lonely people, and it's just a place where they can come and I go from that meeting, we have a VIP group and we have a mastermind group where a lot of my mastermind members talk about personal issues. It's all confidential, so it never leaves our room, but they have issues that they just can't tell their spouse or their friends because people think they're crazy. So
Yeah.
it's great to do one-on-ones and to form those relationships.
Yeah. So this concept of masterminding and really putting bright minds together in a group to support the causes of each of the people that are in the group, but to really piggyback and leverage the minds of those people in the group. It's fascinating, and I'm seeing more and more people either develop them or be a part of them. And you have one that I assume is going quite successfully.
It's great. We have 8 people, so it's a nice small crowd, because when you get too many, it's not as good. So I keep mine till 8, and we go from 8:30 to 1 on usually a Tuesday. But it is great because everybody comes and gives the first 5 to 10 minutes of their time. They tell what they did since last time. And since it is a mastermind, you give them specific things to leave with. They go do it, and then they come back and they report on the success or failure, that they had. I would say 90% it's a success, but sometimes you have those failures and you learn from them too. So it is great though, because it's like, it is your little group, they're your people, I like to say. Everybody in that group has a special bond, because a lot of times, like our last meeting, we had 2 people that were in tears at our mastermind group just talking about personal issues. And that happens, so as long as everybody that comes in knows that it's confidential, they feel very safe there. And we help them through whatever that is. So if it's all a personal issue that time, we talk personal stuff. But most of the time it's business things, and we show them just how to take, if their business is here and they want to take it to the next level, we show them how to do that. And there are great minds in that mastermind group too, because a beginner may think of something totally that the old timers wouldn't have thought of, but it's a great way to be able to say, oh yeah, you could take that and do this, So with the experience in that room, there's probably over close to 60 years of a marketing experience in there. So it's really fun to see it all take action.
And you've been able to see tangible results from the people that have either been through the BS no
BS marketing,
BS marketing, or through your mastermind or any of your online programs.
Yes.
So maybe some case examples?
Oh, we had, currently we have a chiropractor that was brand new in business who joined Mastermind, and they are just adding client after client. She comes in every month and is so excited to tell us how many new clients they had. And so like last month, she was working on a postcard that every time she comes, she goes, okay, here's what I put together, tear it apart, because she knows that there's such good minds in that room. And we usually do tear it apart, but she comes back, she makes it better, and then she mails it out and just sees such great results. And so there's people like that are in there that don't mind. I always say it's never personal. We just want you to do that much better. And so you just see story after story like that of people that have skyrocketed their business. We're working together now, putting together all of those testimonials, and hopefully getting some video testimonials too, which are great, a great source to have to show people that are considering using your services. Because throughout the testimonial gathering, somebody will hit home with that person that you want to become a client, and they'll be like, oh, that was me, that is me, you know, maybe they can help me. And so video testimonials are a great way to do that, as well as written testimonials.
Hey, give us, just to share with us, you know, really maybe for someone who's they're fed up, they're challenged, they said, this is it, I've been out here whacking, I've been trying to make this work, I just can't get it off the ground, or I can't get enough support, or I'm not making enough money, or I can't find the right clients. They're really at the point of just deciding, that's it, I'm giving up on my dream.
It's tough, you know, that does happen sometimes. And if there's one thing that has been said about me, it's to be that I'm so consistent, you know, that even if it's a pain, like that newsletter for 72 months in a row, I wrote it every month. It was the biggest thorn in my side. But I knew that if I didn't do it, I got calls. Where's the newsletter? Because my newsletter was not all about the restaurant. It was fun, weird, trivia kind of things and contests. And people just look forward to it. People are so bored right now. You know, you have to stand out. You have to make it exciting, or they're just going to dump you right in the garbage can. So you have to be able to do that. But for somebody that, you know, is ready to wave the white flag, I say, you know, give it one more chance. And you know, certainly if it's not my mastermind, get into a mastermind, you know, give it 6 more months, because if you get some support, a lot of times it's just everybody telling them that it's not going to happen. What's wrong with them? Can't they see that, you know? And I don't know why people are like that, but they are. So sometimes you just need some positive reinforcement.
Yeah, so you have to get the support that you need. Give it another 6 months. Find a different creative way to express whatever that passion is, or whatever your dream is, or whatever it is you're trying to do in business, and just stay with it.
Right. There's so many ways to be different and unique. I think people get into a lull. And let me just say, if something's working, don't switch it, right? Just add to it. So really, even at the restaurant, I was in business to send out birthday cards. So we gave away a free $20 dinner. You could come in and have a water and have dinner, and then walk out the door. But do most people do that? No, they bring in 2.3 guests with them, right? Because I keep the numbers, and they spend an average of $80+ on their birthday dinner. So gee, that worked. My return on investment was a huge percentage. So guess what I did? I mailed out more birthday cards. You know, I had a list of 63,000. So if cost is a factor, figure out what that is. But if you know you're getting $80 for every dollar you spend, would you send out another birthday card? You know, so the answer is yes, but you just have to know your numbers, and you have to have your list segmented. So, oh wait, you know their birthdays, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah, so go in, find what works, and do more of that.
Right.
Instead of focusing on what's not working.
Right.
And why you're ready to throw out the towel or wave the white flag, figure out what is working and go do more of that.
Right, right. Yeah, and it sounds so simple, right? That most people don't do it, and they can't, it's hard to get out of their own way. You know, they can't see the forest through the trees, or whatever that saying is.
Yeah. Want to squeeze just a little bit more out of you before we wrap up, and that is to have you to give us 2 tips. One of them is a hustle tip, and that's just, you know, around just, you know, your piece of advice about working hard and grinding and believing in what you have. And then the heart tip, which would be around loving what you do and you know, being committed to it.
Yeah.
So what's your hustle tip?
Yeah, my hustle tip is, you know, do the basics. Most people won't even do the basics to get started. You know, I continue, I call it Thank You Thursdays. I continue every Thursday to handwrite, not any other service or anything like that. You actually sit down and handwrite thank you cards to people who have helped you either get where you are, or somebody you met with that week, or, you know, to take a meeting or whatever that is. Just the basics. When's the last time you received a handwritten thank you note? You know, they're so far and few in between that that's the simplest form. I tell people all the time is just do the basics and then go from there. And for your, you know, you have an interesting name for your show, you know, Hustle and Heart, because a lot of it is hustle, you know, and you do get down and you want to just keep, you know, recharging yourself, but a lot of times that's hard. So people just have to be able to go to meetings or have a mentor or that mastermind group to be able to get there. And the hard part of it, I would say, you have to love what you're doing. You know, my passion is marketing, you know, doing those direct mail campaigns. I love that. I love being unique and different with my groups and you know, showing ways to position yourself as the expert and, you know, all those things that you need to do. So if you don't love what you're doing, you're in the wrong business. That's what I tell my kids all the time, you know, at least pick something that you love, because then, you know, even if you start out at a low dollar amount, you know, eventually you can make it into a business and still love what you're doing when you get up every day.
Becky Auer, what an incredible time with her. In fact, I loved being in her studio. I mean, this is my home studio, and it doesn't even come close to what she's been able to do in her home. Nonetheless, I just love when powerful women get their brand and their head and their message across, and no matter how they plan to bring it to the marketplace, if you can do it from your home, that makes even more sense. Becky, thanks so much again for being on Hustle and Heart TV. I would love to hear from you. If you've got a topic that you'd like for me to cover, maybe a guest that you'd like for me to interview, shoot me an email at info@dariethchisholm.com. I'd be happy to search out that guest and that topic for you to get you the information you need to take your business to a whole nother level. We've got more Hustle and Heart for you right after this.
Welcome to Smoke Cigar Shop and Lounge. Come smoke your ash off. Come for the knowledge and stay for the experience. With 15 years in the cigar business, we are here to help you find just the right cigar for you or a gift for someone else. We have cigars to fit any budget and palate, from super premium to hard-to-find boutique brands. A comfortable lounge to enjoy your cigars, free Wi-Fi, and BYOB with cork fee. Sit back and relax and get the full experience. There's always a lot going on at Smoke Cigar Shop. Sports, news, great conversation, or meetings with your coworkers. To stay on top of all of our events and specials, visit us at smokecigarshop.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Smoke Cigar Shop. Download our app at the App Store or Google Play Store. We're open 10 to 9 during the week and until 10 Friday and Saturday. Sunday 12 to 5. Remember, Smoke Cigar Shop and Lounge. Smoke your ash off with fine butts and hot ashes.
Hi, I'm Jan, rappreneur extraordinaire. What does that mean? It means days filled with friendships, a job that's all about fun, and a life of freedom. But it wasn't always this way. Not long ago, I was a stressed out working mom with a boring job just trying to make ends meet, when I saw this amazing picture on Facebook. It said if I had just $25 and 45 minutes, this crazy wrap thing could tighten, tone, and firm my skin. I thought, no way, those results are unbelievable. So I had to try it. I went to a wrap party, and in just 45 minutes, I was experiencing those unbelievable results for myself. I found out I could join the party with my own website, have my own parties, and make some fast cash by having fun with my friends. I shared it with my Facebook friends and they all wanted to try it. I just followed the company's simple 3 steps to success, and before I knew it, I was earning free wraps and cash, and having a blast doing it. Best of all, the checks kept getting bigger and bigger every month. I was able to pay off my credit cards and student loans with this crazy wrap thing. Now I've quit my job. I'm able to spend more time with my kids, and my family is living debt-free. I've got the life I've always dreamed of, and you can have it too. To start redreaming your life, join the party today. It's simple. Try it. You'll like it. It works.
Get more information about It Works Global. Go to simplesuccessfromhome.com or call 412-692-1600.
Hello, I'm Mame Kendall, the owner of Smoke Cigar Shop and Lounge, and I'll see you on the next episode of Hustle and Heart TV.